Good morning. It is Friday, February 18th, and day 38 of the legislative session. So I wanted just to give you an end of the week update on some major pieces of legislation that are moving at the Capitol. And today I'm just going to focus in really on two different bills. The first, their companion bills, Senate Bill 656 and House Bill 4760. These are bills brought to the legislature by the West Virginia Chamber that would create tax credits for employers that create child care facilities. We are hearing from our members about the problems in trying to find workers, and a major reason for that challenge is the lack of available and affordable child care in West Virginia. So this has actually been something we have been in conversations for months in trying to find a solution. And so that is where Senate Bill 656 and House Bill 4760 come into play. Under these bills, an employer who starts a child care facility for their employees would be eligible for a 100% tax credit for the property acquisition, building improvements, building construction, furniture, and first-year operating costs of creating that facility. This tax credit would be able to be taken over 5 years. For-profit companies, they would take the credit against their corporate net income taxes owed. And for nonprofits, they would take the credit against the withholdings they do for their employees' state income tax. The employees still get credit for paying the tax, but that is the way to go ahead and get that credit for the nonprofits. And we have several very large nonprofit employers in West Virginia. Now, there are some provisions within this bill. The amount of the credit cannot exceed 50% of the corporate net income tax owed in that year, or in the case of a nonprofit, 50% of the total withholdings. And there's a rollover provision. We've also included language to make sure that employers who set up these facilities do so with serious intent. Any employers who set up one of these facilities under this tax credit, if they disestablish that facility within 5 years, they owe 100% of that credit back. And then starting with year 6, there becomes a 10% annual decrease on what is termed the recapture event. Now, the facility is to be primarily used for the children of employees, but the bill would be permissive in allowing employers to take children from the community if they have excess capacity and people are looking for child care opportunities. We also recognize that there are only 117 employers in West Virginia that have more than 500 employees. So this bill would allow employers to team up together to create one of these facilities. Now, this bill does not get into any of the liability aspects. That would still be something employers would have to consider for themselves. And it also doesn't get into the regulatory aspects of opening a facility, and there are ongoing conversations about that. But our view with these bills is that we are trying to go ahead and find a way to start solving the child care situation in West Virginia. We have the lowest workforce participation rate in the country and an even lower female labor force participation rate. So we're believing that if we can get some more child care opportunities here, people that may want to come back to the workforce who right now do not have an opportunity might suddenly have that opportunity. So there are a number of sponsors on each bill. In the Senate, the lead sponsor is Senator Tom Tacubo from Kanawha County, who serves as the majority leader. And in the House of Delegates, the lead sponsor is Delegate Kayla Kessinger from Fayette County, who is an assistant majority leader on the House side. So we have worked very closely with both of them in creating these bills, and we are working very hard to build support and get them moving in the legislature. The other two bills I wanted to talk about are Senate Bill 2 and Senate Bill 3. These bills really come as a package. They would reform unemployment compensation in West Virginia. Now, Senate Bill 2 would take the available time on unemployment from 26 weeks and instead switch it to a sliding scale based on the health of the state's economy. So if the unemployment rate would be 5.5% or lower, then the available time on unemployment would be 12 weeks. And if for every 0.5% the unemployment rate goes up above that, it would go an additional week up to 20 weeks. Now, many people have taken a look at that and they've said, okay, that's a pretty significant change. So enter Senate Bill 3. Senate Bill 3 is really designed to beef up Workforce West Virginia's capacity to match people who are on unemployment with jobs that are open that match their skill set. So it's going to do a lot to really beef up Workforce West Virginia's ability. It's going to require more job searching activity by those on unemployment. But here's another really significant change that bill makes. Under current law, if somebody is on unemployment and they have the opportunity to take part-time work, if they take that part-time work, they may get their benefits reduced or even eliminated altogether, despite the fact that that part-time work is not what would be considered by the federal definition to be suitable to them. Under Senate Bill 3, somebody who takes part-time work, as long as it does not go more than 30 hours or more than the weekly benefits they earn, they would be able to take that part-time work without losing any of their benefits. So it's an encouragement for people to continue working and find employment. These bills are currently residing in the House Finance Committee. The Chamber is supportive of both of these bills, but you cannot pass Senate Bill 3 without Senate Bill 2, and that is because the components within Senate Bill 3 put so much demand on Workforce West Virginia that they also would need the changes contained in Senate Bill 2. So those are a couple of the major pieces of legislation we are working on right now. There are a number of other bills. As always, you can reach out to me with any questions. My email is bdayton@wvchamber.com. And again, I just want to thank everybody who's a member of the West Virginia Chamber of Commerce for your continued support. And we'll go ahead and get back in touch with you next week with another update on what's going on at the Capitol.